Welcome to the Conversations with Cousins podcast. I am Jail the Dab King.
And I'm Tyler.
I'm T-Butter.
And I'm Brooke.
All right, guys, welcome back to another podcast.
If you're freaking new here, stop what you're doing. Go down below, hit the subscribe button. We are on the way to 30 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen.
Push it
Push
real
it
good.
real.
All right, so last week the video was a little late. We apologize.
Yeah, that was a super struggle bus.
Yeah, we had some issues editing, but
Yeah.
we got it out.
We did barely.
But we made it.
Barely. We just barely got it. But yeah, you're right. We did get it.
We all hope you enjoyed it last week. We certainly did.
Yep, as always. And also, as always, if you have any questions about anything throughout the podcast, we love talking to our viewers. Go down in the comment section. Let us know what's on your mind. Let us know what you're thinking. If you have thoughts that will make it better. Anything, literally
We're
anything.
open
Just let us know.
We are
want to talk.
open to suggestions.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
this week, we wanted to keep the same format, pick a topic. But before we get into our topics, any updates for our fans out there, guys? Any life updates?
Nothing from this corner here, JL.
Nothing really happened.
Well,
Went by cookout today.
That's always good. That's
Just
great.
saying. It
Right?
was great.
I wasn't here last week because I was sick.
Oh, true. I don't
Not
even think we
with COVID.
mentioned Brooke
So-
last week. I felt kind of bad about that.
Wow. I noticed.
I did too
noticed.
when we were editing.
Well, we just got into deep conversation
I
last
wasn't
week.
upset.
It got really deep last week, so
Yeah, true. Definitely did.
It's okay. I'm forgettable. I get it.
So before we get started, or as we get started, who would like to go? Who would like to go first?
I think Trevor should go first this week. He hasn't gone first yet.
Right? Okay.
Oh,
Sounds
you're just
good.
gonna throw me on the spot like that.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna give you the floor first. It's
Well,
it's yours.
that would probably be the best chance of me making it. All right. Well, this week I'm gonna my topic.
Forget what it was.
is
This week my topic.
Is.
You not hear the? You not hear Tay-Tay walking?
Yeah, I heard, but we were
That's
just
why I was
making
just-
fun.
Just start all over.
Yeah. What?
cut and record.
I'm just kidding. That's gonna make it in now. Great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I figured it
110%.
I figured it will.
So
All right.
your
But-
topic is
So if I'm gonna be the start, well, I guess I'll start off with one of my top. I have like two different topics that I want to kind of talk about.
right.
But we'll go into the very first one. I think that's pretty straight on the press. The February 20th, 2021. What is it called? An exhibition fight.
Super exhibition.
Super exhibition
is how
between.
it's worded.
Yep. Between
Yeah.
yeah, the Mayweather and Logan Paul fight.
Right.
Have y'all looked into that? Have y'all researched any of that?
I have. My first question is, what is a super exhibition?
A way to get more people to watch a regular exhibition. You just change the name.
Yeah. Put a big word in front of it. God, gigantic exhibition.
Yeah, this
It's
is a
still
lot different
exhibition.
than the Jake Paul
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah, Logan Paul is different than Jake Paul, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has been training this
He
whole
has been, but Jake Paul took his training to a different
I
level.
think so too.
year.
I really
And-
think so too. And as of right now, Jake Paul's, I think, got a little bit more size on him.
Also,
than-
the difference is Jake Paul's
than
trainer
Logan Paul.
is better than Logan Paul's trainer was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
your trainer has about as much to do with it as the actual fighter, really, if not maybe even more.
and Logan Paul has like head issues. He's been told he doesn't need to get hit in the head too many more times.
Yeah, that's not good.
Why
Well,
he's boxing, who knows?
If
I
you want
mean,
to look
if
at
you
the,
believe that, I
yeah.
don't.
Well, I mean, if you want to even just look at the stats between, all right, just look at Floyd Mayweather's from Sports Center. His record's 50-0. His first fight was in 1996.
Right? But Floyd takes
That
training
is-
to a different level.
Oh yeah, but then you look at Logan's and it's He's a Vine superstar. And first official fight was last year, 2019.
And he lost.
And he lost.
To KSI.
Yeah.
YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Not a champion.
No.
Undefeated champion at that.
I just think it's I don't know. Like, I understand, like, all right, at first I was kind of against them fighting up, like, how they're jumping just
Right.
complete individuals.
Jumping the
that
line,
they
basically.
should have to go through this lineup before they get to fight these people. But I also see it from the company's standpoint, from boxing trying to bring back their name to the big screen.
It also is different because Floyd's fighting other people like that right now. In Japan, he's got an exhibition coming up. After that,
I didn't even know
he's
that.
fighting other people.
See, I didn't know that. I thought he had just
Exhibition.
retired here recently.
He's fought somebody since he retired.
Hmm.
In Japan, he beat that person, I think, in like 30 seconds, if
Wow.
I'm not mistaken. But he's already fighting that type of person.
Well,
Just he's not going to put his record on the line for it.
yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want him to.
Right.
But according to Sports Center also, they took a poll on Snapchat, and I was looking at it. 86% is voting for Floyd to knock the fuck out of Logan Paul, and 14% are thinking Logan Paul has a chance.
I actually think Logan Paul has matured since the incident on YouTube. Personally, watching him, I think he has matured. His
Yes.
brother, no. I'm not saying I like the guy, but he has
No.
straightened his act up a little bit and not
Yeah.
made stupid decisions. Not that stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well.
he's still edgy, but
Uh,
that's past edgy.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, it's... What my whole thinking is, though, I just don't know how he's going to be able to stand with somebody like Floyd Mayweather. I don't know if he's going to be able to perform at that level with somebody who's been doing it since 1996.
I don't think so, but we will see.
Well,
We'll
I mean,
see. I mean,
the
I
last one surprised us.
Well, no. Listen, what I'm saying is, like, I give him credit. If he's doing like he says he's doing and training hard, I hope that he can go the
But
distance. I want to see a good fight.
Really, Jake Paul didn't surprise me.
No.
I said I wanted Nate Robinson to win, but I didn't think he would.
No, not with the training. The difference, yeah. It takes a lot.
Jake Paul is different than Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are two different people, and Jake trains harder and has the better trainer, at least up to last fight. Now, they have obviously the money to hire the best trainer in the
Yeah.
world, but
What is y'all's thoughts
Yeah,
on this?
they have the money.
I'm not very.
We'll see what happens whenever the fight comes. I think that most people thought that Nate Robinson was going to win, but
He could have had a chance, I think, if he would have had a better trainer. If his training sessions would have been more.
I think that people are starting to taking these guys more seriously. Like, even though they just started, they're still you still have to respect somebody who's going to come in the ring with you because they're going to try their best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
you do. It just, Nate Robinson looks so unprepared for that fight.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see that. This is about Jake, but it'll be interesting to see his next fight.
Right.
Logan Paul versus Floyd. Of course, I'm going Floyd. That's no question.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely
Yeah.
think Floyd Mayweather's going to win too.
If Floyd doesn't want Logan to touch him, he won't.
Yeah.
Right.
It depends on what type of fight Floyd wants to put
Yeah,
on for
and
the fans.
and Floyd is the guy who can go the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't wait to see what the undercards are.
And I feel like some of the shots Logan Paul took were really, really low,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Talk about like down under coming.
No, I'm talking about some of the junk he was talking was
Oh, I thought you.
Was a
Never mind.
little
I
too
thought you
far.
said Jake Paul. I'm crazy.
right. No, Logan Paul was like, oh, the only reason Floyd hasn't signed the contract is because he can't read. Come on, the dude can read.
Right.
Yeah. It's just trying to stir up more money.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
It got him to sign the fight, I guess. Sign the contract.
I don't keep up with any of that. So that's like, I mean, I get why they're doing it. It's for money, and like you said, they're just trying to bring light to that sport again, and
Right.
I can see why, because not a lot of people actually. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people do.
Where do you see most
They-
fights? In a
It's
But
just it's not like football.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
They just have so much to compete against with MMA because
Yeah.
MMA is nonstop
Constant.
action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
They're going to kill.
Blood, there's more blood, and boxing's more of a mental strategy,
Yeah.
in my humble opinion.
Well, that's
They're both.
it's just true because I mean, boxing you got gloves.
Yeah, but
That-
they're weighted gloves too. I mean, you
They
imagine.
are.
I mean, those are 10-ounce gloves that they were throwing.
a
last
lot of
time.
people don't realize also boxing gloves are meant to protect your hands as well,
Yeah.
more than the other people's face. But
Right.
Because you're
Yeah.
throwing some heavy blows.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't read what size gloves they're going to be wearing.
I don't know. I didn't even think to research.
I would
into that.
suggest. I would
Don't-
think 10 ounce.
Yeah,
don't they put stuff on their face or something, anyways?
Vaseline.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
just
That way, if somebody
Yeah.
gets hit,
Slides
yeah.
it slides off. Do they do that?
That's to help
like
keep
in
from
MMA?
cuts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I thought
But
so.
it's just like their bare hands.
Well, they have gloves. It's just,
It's just
not as
knuckles.
much.
They're just over the knuckles, though.
Oh,
They're
Yeah.
Their
from-
fingers are out.
Right.
Yeah,
gotcha.
because some.
Oh, yeah. I know what
Right.
you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like bicycle gloves.
I just kind of like forgot what it was. I mean, I don't watch it,
Right.
so I was like,
Mhm.
kind of forgot what they look like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
But
Who
did
would-
you also see what Jake Paul also put out this week, talking about how he was calling out, might be calling out some MMA fighters.
He did
Which-
call out Connor, which
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but he's going to start calling out some other ones, and then he started talking about putting them to shame, and I'm just like,
I think Connor
He's just
will
trying to
whoop
he's
his
trying to
ass.
ruffle the feathers to get him
Mhm.
to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
Connor was a better boxer than I thought he was going to be, honestly,
yeah,
when he fought Floyd.
I would agree with that. Everybody we went to like a party or whatever during the fight, and me and one other dude were the only people who were calling Mayweather to win before the fight. And everybody's like, "Oh no, Connor's gonna beat him, no problem. He's gonna get embarrassed," and he didn't.
Well, people don't like Floyd because they don't like his style.
Right.
He's not your.
He's not come out.
He's not for a casual fan.
Right.
He's for a more hardcore who enjoys the strategy.
the strategy
who
behind it.
enjoys
Yep.
defense side. He's not a knockout artist.
Right. He's good at wearing his opponent out. Artist.
Good at defense, countering. But I do hope he knocks Logan Paul out.
Right. Right. I wonder what's his knockout record.
I think he's knocked out maybe 6 people.
Gotcha. It's crazy,
We can
but
look it up. Let's look it up.
all right. Bum, 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 bum.
It's like, do, 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 do,
10 KOs.
10 knockouts. Okay.
He has a record of 26 consecutive wins in world title fights, 10 by KO. Hold on. I messed that up. 27. Yeah. I read that. I was just reading the very first part. The record of 26 consecutive wins in world title fights, 10 by knockout. Then 23 fights, 9 by knockout in lineal title fights. 24 wins, 7 knockouts against former or current world titleists. 12 wins, 3 of those were knockouts against former or current lineal champions. And then 4 wins, 1 knockout against International Boxing Hall of Fame inductees.
Right. And what's the source?
That would be Wikipedia.
All right, there we go.
Like the worst source.
Yeah. But for something like that.
Yeah. I mean, why somebody go?
Well, here
I've got a
you go.
secondary source here
Boxing-
for Google. Well,
yeah.
it's Wikipedia, but
We're good.
BoxRec is this source right here.
I know the record's right.
Let's see.
Who has the next? We're about 15 minutes in. So.
Why don't we just go into you?
All right.
Well, I guess that's all. We'll move on to Tyler's topic for the week.
Yep. All right, guys. So some of you know this already. Some of you might not have seen it on social media. I haven't seen it near as much this year with the election going on. In fact, I've only seen it about once. But today's December 7th, and December 7th, 1941 was Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's take a moment of silence. All right.
Okay. Good moment of silence there, brothers and sister. But what my thing is, so the United States retaliated by dropping the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Good old A-bomb.
Yep. What are y'all's thoughts on if that was the right decision to make, or if it was the wrong decision to make, and if so, what way would you have went about it instead?
Well,
We'll just start from your side, Mark.
it's a tough call.
It is, dude. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to be the person.
I'm glad
to
I did not
call.
have to make that decision, but I personally think it was the right call.
I
It
mean, it does
sucks.
sound
It
terrible saying
it is
that,
awful.
but
Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
it's awful.
Obviously, it sucks for the innocent people who were blown to smithereens, and not only that, the ones who had radiation effects lasting from
To this day,
right, like
honestly,
right. There's still trace amounts now.
right.
Yeah. Just crazy. I don't know. I don't know if one thing we have to remember, their technology wasn't the same as it is now.
There has to be consequences for
Right.
the action that they committed.
Right. And it sounds terrible because we went over there and killed plenty of innocent people's lives, like a lot.
Right.
But when other countries from the outside looking in see, okay, Japan just bombed the United States at Pearl Harbor, what is the United States going to do? Well, if we don't do anything
At all.
then we obviously should just showed our weakness card. Like, oh, who else wants to
Who wants a
mess
piece?
with us?
Come over
right.
and take it.
Yeah.
Right. It sucks for the innocent people, and maybe there was a different route that would have been better and still resolved the issue, but
Well,
I don't
hindsight's
know.
2020.
Exactly.
It's easy to sit here today and say, "Oh, this should have been done. This should have been done." But in the heat of the moment, you react differently.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So true.
I will touch on the point of I watched a History Channel show once about the atom bomb, and we weren't
So
the
you
only
would say you're
ones.
probably by now an expert, I would say, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, he does have his doctorate
Yes.
from Google.
Oh, okay.
dot
From the
com.
History Channel.
Well, no, it's just off of Google Photos.
Oh.
I Photoshop. Yeah, I might
Uh,
have. It's fraud. But,
Okay, it's okay. Mhm.
but no, but no. On the History Channel, they were showing an episode about the A bomb, and
Right.
it kind of ended up being kind of like the space race, in a way, because everybody was getting intel from other countries saying, "Hey, they're getting closer to an atom bomb. Hey, they're getting closer to an atom bomb."
Right.
So, if it wasn't us dropping it, it was going to be another country. And after we dropped it, they all decided, that's too much.
Right.
And everybody started then denuclearizing their war machines, or whatever you want to call it, their armies.
Right.
So
Nuclear weapons.
yeah, if you come down to that point, if it wasn't us, it was somebody else. So, I mean, it was going to happen. Whether it was Japan, I feel sorry for all the families that was lost on both sides, on our side, their side. But that happens in wars.
Right.
But, I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, somebody's going to cross the line for everybody to go, hold up. And then you step back. It's just like no more gas warfare's banned now in warfare.
Right.
You can't
Yeah.
have, I mean, the Vietnamese dug holes and put spikes in them for us to fall in, and they said, hold up, can't do that. And I mean, there's
Right.
so many different things that happened in war, and it's always going to be that progression. Like, what scares me is what's next.
Yeah.
Right.
What's going to
Yeah,
happen
and
next?
who's to
that's
say
gonna
that
stop?
we wouldn't have to be drafted again? You literally don't know what the future holds, dude.
Like, why does it have to progress like that, though?
It's just human nature.
How-
It's-
yeah.
Power corrupts.
Yep.
Just evil.
Mm-hmm.
Power corrupts.
I'm not against, like, guns or anything. I'm just saying weapons of, like,
Mass
mass
destruction.
destruction like
True,
that.
true
Like, why
weapons of mass
Why do we
destruction.
need a bomb? Like, that big?
Because the other person has one.
Power. I mean, it's literally like, okay.
The other person has
Well,
one.
But, like, why did that begin, period? is what I'm saying.
I want to be
Like,
Well,
if someone's
yeah.
that
Technically,
hateful and that dark, and they're just like, I know I can build something that's gonna kill thousands of people.
that can lead into a whole nother wormhole
Yeah.
because there was a race.
Yeah,
It's
true.
quite a story. We can talk about that next week if y'all would like, though.
Right.
Y'all drop
That's,
down in the comments. Let us know.
That can get really deep because
Yeah,
there
well,
were
we'll talk.
consequences and
Lot of stuff going on there.
I
Right.
like going into stuff like that, so I can do some more research on that. Y'all just let us know in the comments.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's always going to be who can make the biggest thing. But back to your thing about Pearl Harbor, there was a lot that went wrong on that day too.
Yeah. Well, they spotted the planes, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We had just started getting radar detection,
right.
and they had them set up on Hawaii's islands on one of the shores because that was the only place that they could really get a good reception. And they thought it was the system was glitching. They're like,
Right.
this
Right.
can't be right. This can't be right. What do you mean? It's Sunday morning.
Right.
And I
Right.
mean, that's
That it still would have been bad, but they would have had a little bit more time to
Mhm.
get ready.
yeah.
I don't know the answer.
They
It's-
could, yeah, they definitely could have probably countered it a little bit.
Right. They would at least got the beginning of it better.
Well, yeah, today we have the technology to shoot the plane down,
Right.
but
Back then it was
But
guys sitting
I
on
say
a gun.
that, I say that. But even with it coming in, I mean, it's not like they could tell it was a Japanese airplane.
And they were called kamikaze pilots for a reason.
Right.
They drove their planes
Right
into
into
the
the
ships.
ship. Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
they suicide bombed
but
the ships.
also like air traffic control is
And that's-
pretty hot on them.
That's a whole
Yeah,
nother
that's the
thing.
worst.
That's like making a human a weapon. Like when you
Mhm.
got people that are that
Well, and
dedicated,
that's
like,
that's the worst
they would
kind of
commit
people you
suicide
want to
that way.
fight because they don't care if they
Right.
die.
Mhm.
Like,
They are
They
fighting for
wanna
a
die.
reason.
right.
I mean,
That's an honor to them.
Yeah, they're fighting for a
if,
reason.
If we're discussing the Taliban, when you give your life, you make it into their version of heaven. I'm not sure what
Right.
they call it, but
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
I don't know. But, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that went wrong on that Sunday morning. And a lot of people lost their life. And then there was a lot more that was lost in between Pearl Harbor and the A-bomb being dropped.
right?
Yeah.
But I also do think that if we wouldn't have dropped the A-bomb, I think things in this world would be a whole lot different today.
I think so
Because
too.
they
That
would
set a
not
precedent.
gave up. They were not
It
giving
set a
up.
precedent.
It's
Mhm.
funny nobody asked that question about, well, did we make the right decision about going after Hitler? Yeah, we just didn't make it fast enough.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
It's not a laughing matter, but
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
get
mean,
what
we
you're
had
saying
just
there.
gotten out of a war. I mean, nobody wanted to just send their sons back to war after they just got back.
right.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
oh, I know.
It's funny because that's not a question that gets asked.
Right. It's a well known that was what needed to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But back to the
Which-
Pearl Harbor thing, that's somewhere I really want to visit in
Mhm.
person.
I would
If
love
I
to
go to
visit. Right.
Hawaii, I'm 110% going to Pearl Harbor.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
is
I
gonna
plan
happen.
to go to Hawaii at some point. I will be there.
Right. Man.
All right. Anybody got anything to add on that? I think that's pretty much sums it up for me.
I don't
Yep.
think I.
Good on it.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Let's move on to Brooke's topic of the week. It is.
I would like to talk about, or I guess kind of discuss what y'all think about the vaccines for COVID.
Right.
And if, like, there's been a lot of talk about them possibly being mandatory, not to, I doubt it would be to everyone, but more so, I guess, in your, like, medical facilities
Right.
and like, nursing homes, stuff like that.
Right.
How do y'all feel about that? Like, making it mandatory for anyone?
I don't think you should
I don't
make
think it's
somebody,
mandatory, no.
but I do think that the nurses and doctors should have the first choice on whether they want it or not,
Yeah.
because they are the front lines of this war, per
Yeah.
se.
I would agree with that. I think that they should have first them and obviously the people that are most vulnerable to
Right.
to COVID.
Would y'all get it?
I
I don't
personally
think
would
so.
not.
No.
At
I don't
least
think I need to really.
Not the first
No.
round. I wouldn't.
If I got COVID, then after that, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure there's some immunity with.
Well, they say you can't get it for like 3 months, apparently.
It's hard to find
Yeah,
true
but
facts, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my problem with just not getting back into the media thing again.
Right.
But I have to second guess everything now.
Yeah. Of course, there's not like an approved vaccine yet.
It's close.
That I
I
think
mean,
the last article I looked at, they said before the end of this year,
Right,
which is very soon.
right.
It's December
But-
7th.
Yeah, and
It's like 3 weeks.
I actually have a friend that works at a nursing home, and that's what he was talking about like this week pretty much, is how they've been preparing and how they're the talk of them having to get that vaccine and everything. And I'm like, you have to. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, I mean, I get it. I feel like in that, like, you decided that was going to be your profession. I know you didn't know COVID was going to happen or nothing,
Right.
but
yeah.
in that sense, like, you're there to save people's lives or to, like, help. I mean, a nursing home, like, you're
Right.
taking care of them
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
and
think
everything, then yeah, you should. But
I think instead of forcing them,
I
they
don't
should
think it
give
should-
them an ultimatum. Like,
Yeah.
you either
yeah.
find a new career or
Well,
you
that's
get the
pretty
vaccine,
much
right?
probably what it is.
Right,
I mean, a lot
Yes.
of people would rather, well, some people might quit their jobs.
right.
But, I mean, they make them get the flu shots, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, but
It's
that's
just because
different.
that
Like,
one's
the
more
flu
accepted
shot,
now. You
but
know?
the flu shot's been around, and
I've never gotten a flu shot in my life.
You know, they said that they're testing this stuff and that it's safe, and I believe that generally. I'm sure it is safe, but there's still like you can't test something that's brand new and tell what the 30-year effects are,
It's-
if there are any.
And it's
Well, you're
hard
never
to
gonna know that
say,
until
to trust
30
that
years.
when
That's what I'm saying.
you see all these FDA guidelines being bypassed or sped up. It's hard to
Mhm.
trust.
And
okay,
everything is politicized now, dude.
Did they
everything.
really test this? Or are they just saying, screw it, it works on some people, it'll do a little good?
Right.
It's just
to
like-
get down the panic.
it's like I just don't know the ingredients to what's really in there. I'm just,
Now,
I don't know.
People, I mean, I don't. How do they know that? Have they tested on pregnant women? Like,
I'm personally
That's
not an
actually something I
anti.
did see. Sorry.
I'm not anti-vaccine. Like, there are
I'm not
there
either.
are
I'm
good vaccines
definitely
out
not
there,
either.
like,
But it's just like one of those
polio.
things where they say it's safe. It's literally so new. Like, you really don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I think the problem with the whole idea is just like them making it mandatory.
Right.
Just like
It's
you not
like,
having
why?
a choice
We-
if that ever comes along. Like
Right.
that's just different.
we've shrunk a process that can take over 10 years sometimes
Mhm.
down to 10 months. Less than that,
Right.
really, but
Yeah.
around 10 months. And that's. It's hard to just sit there and say there's going to be no consequences behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What scares me is that we've had a year with this virus. It's coming
Right.
up on a year.
Some.
That its first cases were over in China.
Well, there have been some cases that have been proven to go back, but
Yeah.
generally, yeah.
So about a year now. We're at a year mark. How much do we really know true fact about this virus? How much has been rushed? How much has been falsified?
How
That's
much is
what I
still
don't
false
understand.
that we believe that might be true about it?
Well, see, and it's not even just that. What worries me is, all right, so viruses are going to mutate. We're going to create a vaccine, and then it's going to get worse. The flu, every year, they have to come out with a new flu strand that they think is going to cover the one that's around that year.
Right.
Are they going to have to do that every year, and that's just going to be a new type of flu shot? Or is it going to be like the SARS, or like, well, not SARS. SARS is still around a little bit, isn't it? There's very few cases,
Yeah.
but it's still around. Is it going to do like that, or is it going to do kind of like, I mean, I don't know. That's what worries me. Or,
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What
what I
other
don't know
options do
about
we
with the
have?
vaccine.
What are your thoughts, Brooke? I mean, what do you?
I'm not getting no vaccine.
I'm not
Uh-uh.
getting one right now.
Maybe if it's like,
Nah.
I don't even think in the first couple years. Like, I
Mm-mm.
just, heck
I mean,
no.
down the line, sure. If I see it safe,
If I'm 60.
Yeah, I'm
I
also
mean-
23 and healthy, so
Right.
Also,
it's a little different.
I don't want to waste a vaccine on me when I feel like
It could be
go to
used to somebody who
someone
needs it
else.
more.
Right.
Exactly, dude.
Let's take care of the problem areas before we worry about vaccinating everyone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I 110% agree with that exactly.
I know a bunch of the conspiracy theorists out there saying a lot of talk about like the chip being a part of that vaccine too, and then like a way for them to push a cashless society.
I do feel
And
like there's
that's
people trying
crazy.
to push that stuff, but I don't think it's that.
I looked, I was like a cashless society. They're saying, and it's not even, I don't even remember the source, and I don't think it was very reputable.
With
like,
any
the
new
soonest,
thing like that,
2023.
yeah. Right. With any new
So-
thing like that, people always speculate there's
It's-
something like that.
That's been said for 10 years now.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
Chips, and it's almost to the point where it's the boy who cried wolf. Like,
Yeah.
True.
but that's also by design. They want to sneak it in there.
But if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken, a lot of this was sparked whenever COVID started. Like around us, people stopped giving back change, and I think the Treasury was actually trying to clean a lot of the money. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. And then just stop sending out change a lot.
True. I mean,
That would be smart.
I'm not an expert in that. But
I hate
I haven't
change.
Possible,
researched
I
it, but I mean that would be a good theory. In my point, like
I hate change.
I do too.
Yeah.
But
So
I mean,
round that sucker up. I don't want that not
That
dangling in
jangling.
my pockets.
that's it. That jangling.
Which the cashless society, I mean, it wouldn't affect me, I don't think.
it would affect you in ways that you don't know that it would.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it'd be kind of weird if, say, you had, like, some neighbor who cut your grass and you gave him $40 or something, like, cash to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't do that, but then, I mean, there's so many apps and everything,
Yeah.
like
Right.
Cash App and PayPal and all that. I mean, I just...
It would be an adjustment with my plug, that's for sure. Oh yeah. I would like to touch on the fact that if this vaccine is successful, it could change the way vaccines are created in the future. Like if we successfully cut that time down from 10 years
It means
to 10 months.
it means we weren't working
Right.
hard enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But
That or
Either
they just weren't
that-
paying the right people off in the first place.
I
Well,
mean,
I
but
think
about
that the longer it
mistakes that
takes,
could
the
be
longer
made.
it takes, the more money is able to be generated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
from it,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
that but you also give up the ability to test
You give
for
up that
10
time.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
And
at
then
an
you
odd
get
time
Viagra.
and age. And with
Heart
everything
pill
going
turned into
on.
Viagra.
Right.
You never know. Get a vaccine and all of a sudden I'm sterile.
Yeah. I mean, really.
Mhm.
I mean,
You just-
there's a lot
it's-
of stuff that happened in history that would make a lot of people upset.
Right.
In the article that I did see earlier, though, they were saying like pregnant women and stuff like that wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So-
advise against. I would highly advise against not getting a pregnant woman getting that vaccine.
Right.
No,
All right.
or a child. I don't
When you're
because
still in the like developmental stages.
even like a I don't know, because that's a hard point to like, because whenever I was a kid, if I got the flu shot, I was sick for like that whole winter. I got sick as a dog every time I got a flu shot.
Right.
I haven't
That's
got a
why
flu
I
shot
got a
since
flu
I
shot
was
once.
like in third grade.
And yeah, same. Cause same.
I would just get sick as a dog all winter.
And dude, I couldn't tell you the last time I had the flu. It's been since I was very like a kid.
I've never had a flu shot in my life.
I've always gotten flu shots growing up. My mom's always
Right.
like pushed it, but this last year I didn't get one.
Did you get
Right.
the flu?
No.
Did you get
I've
your
never had
16-week
flu.
shots?
I did not.
Rabies vaccinations? Nah. I got like my vaccinations like polio. I mean,
Right.
my mom wasn't
Yeah.
stupid.
I mean,
Right.
I got my vaccinations,
I mean,
it's just not a flu shot.
Yeah, I mean, I got my vaccinations. I mean, like the ones that you get going into middle school
Yeah.
that they make you get. I mean, my mom
Maybe
wasn't
that's-
like oh no, not gonna do that. But like
Same.
common sense stuff, like if your kid's getting sick by getting the flu shot and they're just staying sick, try passing it up one year and see what happens.
Right.
For me, it helped. And oh dang, okay, he's not getting sick now.
But what about
It's
like?
amazing what the human body can do by itself.
Right.
But if you think about it, that's all vaccination is. They're giving you a form
Yeah.
of the virus
To get
So-
antibodies.
To get
build up
immunity built
faster.
up for it.
Yeah. So whenever it hits, but my body, it just was like, oh, no, we're giving up early. You just attack
I
me.
don't want to fight.
I'm
Have y'all seen
passive.
any of those stories about like babies getting their vaccines and then they end up like autistic? And they're trying to
Yeah, but that's
relate it
so
to the
minuscule,
vaccines.
though.
The
I
problem with
know.
that is you don't.
There's no
autism
proof
is
of it.
hard to prove in a
Yep.
child.
Yeah.
In an infant.
In an
like,
infant,
yeah.
they can't talk. They can't tell you what's wrong. They can't communicate with you. You just think, okay, the baby's not crying a lot. He's a happy child. And then it's
Yeah, I
just
mean-
somebody, and then he just doesn't communicate. a
But
lot.
what if
It's just hard to prove.
it really was?
I won't
Okay.
say it's not possible. I would say that the risk is greater getting the stuff that the vaccine's actually for than
Mhm.
the side, if it is inside to it.
It's
side
it's,
effects.
it's awful.
Yeah.
Now,
Now sometimes it is easy to tell because there are certain there's spectrums.
okay, so I'm gonna go off on a wild tangent here, but stick with me. So, talking about autism coming from vaccinations.
Mhm.
Okay, from a baby getting a vaccination, no, I do not believe that vaccinations cause autism. Now, when you look at the lineage of us getting vaccinations, us conquering different things, I think we have changed the human makeup over time as we've evolved.
Oh, for sure.
And I
We're
think
always
that certain
evolving.
mutations like autism or Down syndrome, I think there's certain things that we have changed in our daily eat. I mean, look at our food that we eat now. I think there's a
Well,
lot of
is
those.
it food?
Yeah. But I mean, I think we're changing so many things to make things better, but are we really making things better, or are we I'm going down a tangent, I'm sorry. But I just think that we've changed certain things in our day-to-day life, and I think we're starting to see the side effects of that with birth
Right.
defects, stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Well, that's 37 minutes. I'm going to take a small break and we will finish this off. All right, so my topic of the week is the new marijuana law. Well, bill that has been voted in to decriminalize marijuana federally. Pretty stoked about it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You pulling up some stats on the
I
House
am.
bill? I got you.
What are y'all's?
I say go for it. Honestly, it's not as bad as what it's been made out to be for forever. It's really not. In my opinion, it's better than somebody drinking alcohol.
You say they decriminalized it,
Well,
Federally.
they've passed.
where you just don't go to jail.
They've passed it in the
like-
House, yeah, to where they could reform that.
Right.
To
It's
where
like
they
bringing it up to
It's
take
it's-
action on.
No, yeah, they've
So
passed
if you
it
get
in the House.
so if you get like pulled with it though,
Well, it's not through the
There,
Senate
it's not
yet.
made it through Senate.
It's not like
which-
into law
yeah.
yet.
But I'm saying like
Yeah, they're trying to get rid
idea
of it. Mm-hmm.
of it is like if you get pulled
On a
with it,
federal,
It would be like
this
in
is
you
on
would
a
just get like
federal
a
level.
fine maybe.
No, it would be like out in California.
No,
Now,
decriminalization. That's not. That's different than making
I'm talking.
it.
Yeah, but what that could mean is that's going to pave the way for each
It's basically it's
state
going to speed up the process.
to where
essentially.
each state can then start making their own laws and not have to
Mhm.
worry. Because even in California,
The feds can still come
yeah,
in
exactly,
and shut you down, take everything, and
Ah.
and take you to jail. Yeah.
now,
Even-
Obama, in Obama's campaign, they were still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
They were still busting people. Cheech got busted.
Yeah.
Well, not Cheech, Tommy Chong.
Cheech.
Daggone Tommy Chong.
It's definitely not the
It is
end all. And from
no,
what I
not
hear,
even close, dude.
they are trying to sneak other things in, which I don't like, but it is a step in the right direction.
That for
That's the
marijuana
problem.
specifically.
Right.
Yeah.
Give a little to get a little.
Right.
But
It depends on what you're giving up in return, though.
Yeah.
Some people use it as medicine.
Mhm. I've seen the effects that it can have on somebody with like arthritis, like an older person. Just, I mean, there's so many different effects. I mean,
I've seen it literally
positive
stop
effects.
seizures in their tracks
haven't seen it,
immediately.
but
Right. That, and I mean, compared to alcohol, dude, it's not. It's so much better.
So much safer in my opinion.
That's
but
what, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, dude. Seriously.
oh, no question, it is. In my
Sorry about this past week.
Yeah,
also.
last week, Travis.
My video cut out. My camera overheated the week before and cut off. And then this past week, I thought if I just left it unplugged, it would have enough battery to go through. And that was not the case. It ended up
Fell a
dying
little
on me.
short.
It
Right.
fell a little short, and by a little short, a lot of short. And
yes.
so we had to restart it. And then my audio ended up not wanting to sync back up with my visuals. So if it looked like I was talking random words whenever you were hearing things that were not there,
He
that
was.
I was.
You
But-
were not tripping balls.
Sorry about that. We're gonna try and do better this week with that.
well,
and
it's-
previous and weeks following. too.
Josh might be out of sync as we speak.
Very true, but it'll only be for the last few seconds.
Yeah,
so
we're close to.
that's pretty much
Right,
all I
yeah.
have for this week, guys. Any
Yeah.
y'all got anything to add?
I mean, with the whole weed thing, I don't see it an issue for them to decriminalize it or whatever, not like federally.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
I think it's a.
It's just been played way too hard on that
Right.
specific.
like to act like marijuana is like this hard drug and.
Well,
It's just
there was the
hard.
hardcore propaganda that literally told people if you smoke weed, you go insane.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! Do
Yeah.
y'all remember years ago? Oh my gosh, this Justin Bieber was young. Is all I know. He still had the Bieber hair, I think. But
Right.
I don't know. It was probably like 2013 or something where it was going around on like Twitter, where they found out like obviously Justin was like smoking weed, and so his fans were cutting themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, they were like cut for
Let me cut
Bieber or some
myself.
kind of hashtag on Twitter.
Because
Yeah,
he smoked a joint.
At least
right.
Demi Lovato's
What?
fans just burned a candlelight visual.
Like, oh my lord.
Well, she also
Oh my
was
God.
on more than pot, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's different.
That's wild.
like
That
the
is crazy.
effects that like marijuana has on a person. Just alcohol's even worse.
Way,
Like, I mean,
way worse.
Right? On your liver.
Yeah, I was about to say on your organs too, not just your mind at that moment.
It's literally poison.
But
compared to
I don't
something
have it.
grown like naturally.
Right.
Right.
I will
Yep.
say I think they're going to have a hard time getting it through the Senate, because I do feel that that the conservatives are going to hold tight on it. I don't know. It's going to be a close one
We'll
for
see.
sure.
It's crazy. When does it actually get like?
When does it go to the Senate?
Yeah.
don't
I'm
know.
not sure.
They'll have to pass it off formally, and
I was gonna say 2020 is a crazy year, but I don't know if they're even gonna be doing
Let's see.
it now.
New Year's is gonna suck.
oh yeah, we're going to be in lockdown here in North Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about
The
to go back
one
down.
year we really want to celebrate to be
Right.
over.
It's gonna
We get to be
drag
in
over.
lockdown.
They're already saying it's going to stall in the Senate, but I can't find a date.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
if it's being brought up, we're still getting closer to that.
oh yeah. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to stall it, and then by the end of next year, where they probably will have it
They'll
passed.
make revisions.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's going to be
and-
probably 3 or 4 different revisions, but it's a step in the right direction.
Yep. All right. If that's all,
It's been fun having you guys on. Again, if you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We post every week. Alright, so if you made it this far into the video, first of all, thank you. We're probably, with editing, around 45 minutes in-ish right now.
yeah,
Thank you for making it this far.
you a real one.
For real. But from here going forward, we've talked about previously that we upload on Tuesdays at 8:30. With the podcasts getting a little bit longer, into the 40-ish to over hour range, where our issue is the computer that we're editing on, we're running out of memory. I won't get into the way Final Cut Pro works, but it's not very efficient on saving memory
Right.
when you're editing. It will eat up a whole entire computer's memory super
And
fast.
it's not-
We also
it's
have
a-
3 different videos shooting 4K that we're editing. So.
It's
Yeah.
also the computer is not the issue.
Right, it's the memory. But anyways, from here on out, we're gonna start uploading between Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon.
We're still gonna
We're
try
gonna try
for
it for Tuesday afternoon still, but if not, you can expect it on Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday at the latest for sure. 100%.
Unless if it's not out by Wednesday, something has happened and
We'll catch you next Monday.
Somebody gave us a vaccination and we died.
You'll get
So,
an
we gotta
update. So bang that subscribe, guys.
other than that, again,
Mad
thanks.
love to our
Don't
viewers.
do drugs.
Unless
Bad.
I'm with you.
Remember your DARE program.
Yes.
It's important.
Peace out.
Stay in
Remember
school.
my speech.
Bye.